Oh my word, have I waited to say these words. It is GB3 race day. Hello everyone and welcome back to the UK's leading single-seater championship. The drivers are on the grid, we're ready to race, and this is going to be an exciting start to 2026. And up here in the commentary box, my name is Omi, delighted to be back with you for another season of what should be an absolutely extraordinary season ahead of us. We've got new drivers, we've got the same goal still ahead of them all, to be the GB3 champion of 2026. Of course, we are coming off a campaign which Alex Ninovich dominated, winning the championship one round early. But now, how is this going to play out? A new campaign very nearly about to begin. This car, which of course was introduced last year, has been further developed, it's been further improved, and it basically means that, you know, we're basically going again. In terms of there's new learning to be done by all the drivers, and this might be year 2 of these regulations, but there is absolutely still plenty of elements that the teams have had to work on across testing, and it's for this moment. It's for this vital moment where the time to race is very nearly there. We are on to the formation lap then for the opening race of GB3 in 2026. I am your commentator, Omi. A pleasure to have your company, and it will be Wes alongside me up here in the commentary box this year as well. But he, unfortunately, is not with us, which the reason being is he's on holiday. So that's the fortunate bit about it. He's enjoying himself, and I'm sure he'll be watching on. Okay, on pole position is Nikita Bedrin, a Formula 3 race winner. Martin Molnar is alongside in second place, getting a lot of attention from the Hungarian fans. Maxim Rem made a big impact at the end of last year, so did Abby Pulling. They're third and fourth. Deegan Fairclough is in fifth, and then we find ourselves with Rowan Campbell-Pilling starting in sixth position on the grid. Seventh is Kihu Lee, and then Jin Nakamura, Formula 3 this year, doing a dual campaign as well in the GB3 Championship, and they'll go from 8th. 9th for Patrico Gonzalez, and 10th goes the way of Leon Wilson. They are the next two on the grid. Lucas Flusha is in 11th, and then it is Flynn Jacques in P12. 13th is Fu, next to Alex Catolaz as well, and they are going to be looking to try and move forward. Rodrigo Gonzalez is directly behind in 15th, and then Dante Vinci starting in 16th, the driver who was racing an Italian F4 last year. Krill Kutzkoff is another one of those drivers as well that's coming from that F4 series, and it's Peter alongside him. Then we find ourselves with Aurelia Nobles. Great to have her in this championship, and she'll go from 19th next to Jason. Then it is Jack Taylor and Ricardo. They are 21st and 22nd. Final car in position is going to be Lewis Gilbert, and they will go from 23rd. Well, these are nervy moments now. We're very nearly at that point where, you know, we've had a long journey last year. We're repeating the journey, but this time with, I'd say, once again, not an idea of who could emerge as the champion. I feel like with this grid, there is a chance that someone could come out to be an Alex Ninovich style driver in terms of the way he dominated last year's campaign. But that driver is not known. Like last year, it wasn't known at the start of the campaign that Alex Ninovich was going to do what he did. I feel like we could get either that, or I feel like as well, there's a possibility that, you know, it's equally competitive and there's so many drivers in the mix and it's unbelievably wide open. Well, whatever takes place, I am looking forward to sharing this journey with you across 2026. This is the GB3 Championship partnered by the BRDC, and as they line themselves up in position on the grid, I'd just like to say and send my best wishes to Will McIntyre, who continues to fight as well. And everyone posted, of course, GB3 posted the images earlier on in terms of the whole paddock coming together of GB3 and GB4, and we will continue to do that as Will McIntyre continues to fight, and hopefully one day we can get him back in one of these cars. But he'll be watching on with the rest of us And these are nervy moments. Everyone lining themselves up. And are you ready to do it all over again? The GB3 Championship, partnered by the BRDC. How is this going to go? 25 minutes of racing coming your way. It is Nikita Bedrin on pole position. Martin Molnar is alongside. And the run down towards Cobb's Corner is about to begin. Here in 2026, all 5 lights are on. And GB3 is racing in 2026. A good reaction time, it appeared like, from Martin Molnar. Is he going to get the inside line? It looks like he has. And he's got P1 into turn number 1. Cobb's Corner. Are they all going to be able to make their way through? There was a big amount of cars all battling their way by. And it also appears like Maxim Rem is having an opportunity as he tries to fight his way by. Not a good getaway from the pole sitter Nikita Bedrin, and Martin Molnar's able to take the advantage. Deegan Fairclough's in the mix as well, as he sends off wide as well Nikita Bedrin, as they make their way through. So Bedrin dropped down the order, but we find ourselves with Molnar having the advantage as he brings it down towards Stowe Corner. That's late. Deegan Fairclough really going tight as he tries to make the move as well. So, really aggressive opening lap from all of the drivers, as also fighting their way by and trying to move up. Oh, that's going to get really close. Can they avoid contact at the final few corners of the lap? Molnar's being able to pull away as they battle like crazy in those further positions. As we hit Hamilton Straight now, and in second place is going to be Maxim Rem somehow, some way. I'm not sure how on earth that has happened, but that was an absolutely outrageous start to the motor race. We're still battling our way through around the outside now. Attempts to go Nikita Bedrin, trying to fight back up against Maxim Rem, but Rem's going to hold on to the position, and Nikita Bedrin cannot have a bit of an attack just yet. Martin Molnar, goodbye, quite literally goodbye. What an absolutely unbelievable start he's got. And they're all battling all over the road. That's late on the brakes as well. That is very close to contact for the number 8 of Rowan Campbell-Pilling. So Campbell-Pilling trying to attack, and he's trying to get past Bedrin. All the while, Deegan Fairclough is sending it up the inside. And we're about to complete the opening lap and get an order on the board as well. Well, that has been an unbelievable start. Car off. We've got a hill speed car that's gone off momentarily as they will make their way through. And what an opening lap we're seeing to this race. And now, well, the start of lap number 2. Absolutely fantastic stuff. So, good advantage for Molnar. P1, and exactly what he was looking for. It was all about the launch off the line, which I was listening to John Jackson and Pierce prior to see what they were talking about it earlier on, as well in the pre-show. They were mentioning the exact same thing. And, we had the number 5 off of Fu, followed as well by that hill speed car. And that's how they all found themselves off the road. 3 seconds the distance Martin Molnar has. Absolutely outrageous stuff. Deegan Fairclough looking for the move. Looking for something wild, and a bit of contact made as I think Abby Pulling now arrives on the scene as well. So Campbell-Pilling holding the positions, but now enter into the mix. Deegan Fairclough going tight to the inside line. That's brave into Abby Corner, and he's gonna make the move. Deegan Fairclough gets past. Now Campbell-Pilling could be under pressure by Abby Pulling as well. Pulling's going to pull to the outside line. Meanwhile, Lee and Jacques going side by side as well. And GB3 is back in absolute style as the side-by-side racing continues as well. They look to try and stand on the power. And it is the 2 teammates side-by-side. Lee versus Jacques as they hit Wellington Straight. Meanwhile, at the same time, Bedrin is all over the back of Maxim Rem. It's a Rodin Motorsport 1 and 2 at the front of the field. Further back as well we go. And you've got Jin Nakamura making contact and sending round Lucas Flusha. And Flusha goes off. It was a lunge to the inside, and they were going side by side. And Jin Nakamura, the Formula 3 driver, doing a dual campaign this year, has contact at the start in the early stages of this one. And it's been frenetic as well. Let's take a look at a replay. So Nakamura with the inside line. Around the outside tries to go Lucas Flusha. And Flusha sent round. And a shame. A big, big shame for him. We're still going side by side through Maggott and Beckett. My word, that is close. And that is Patricio Gonzalez roaring past and getting past Lee at the same time. Meanwhile, DRS open for Nikita Bedrin. The best chance that he's had to retake second place after the opening lap. and he'll go to the inside line, and Nikita Bedrin, welcome back to second, and he's got 2.7 seconds now to try close in to Martin Molnar, who is having the time of his life at the front of the field with an unbelievable advantage. It is absolutely fantastic the way that this race is currently going. Just to let you know, by the way, this will be a quick off, in terms of we'll be very quickly going off air for this race, just so we can make it on time to the formation lap for the FIA Formula Regional European Championship that's also kicked off this weekend. They had race 1 earlier. They've got reverse grid racing coming up very, very soon. Basically, at the end of this race, you go straight over. So stay with us, and we'll go straight over. So yes, it will be a very quick off air as we're still battling our way through. And oh, is that a problem there for the Rodin Motorsport car? Slowing down slightly. Abby Pulling. Well, now she's going 3 wide. That's not going to be ideal. Has Pulling got an issue? I think she has, possibly. Or did she go off the road? Well, she's for some reason slow. Now she's regaining momentum. But for some reason she was slow, making her way down Wellington Straight. And it means that she's now lost out lots of positions. Lots of positions lost for her. 19 minutes to go on the clock. Molnar, Bedrin, Rem, as they flick the car through Cobb's Corner and make their way through to some of the most iconic corners when it comes to motor racing in general. And Pulling right now, looking to regroup now and fight back. And she'll be trying to make the move. I think it will be on Lee that she'll be trying to get past now, in the number 19. So that's going to be a move that will definitely be on, possibly. Very, very shortly, here comes Abby Pulling. Pulling looking to have an attack around the outside. Well, on the brakes. And then getting the car rotated is Pulling. And then all about getting on the power. Let's see whether we get any move down towards Vale Corner. She's having a look. Meanwhile, Jin Nakamura, who's already had contact today, going wheel to wheel, side by side. That is going to be with the number 27 of Leon Wilson. So Wilson keeping their foot in. And could that lead us to a 3-wide moment into Abbey Corner? Not ideal at all. Jin Nakamura could get mugged. Oh, they're going to be able to make their way through all over the road as well. Was Jin Nakamura. He's somehow going to hang on to all of the places. And GB3 properly back in 2026, you can tell, because cars are absolutely everywhere. We're getting to hairy moments where they're trying to hang on to the car, and they just about will. So the number 27 of Leon Wilson is going to find himself the second car in that train now in this battle. And of course, they're all battling for the lower positions of, outside the top 10. And it is a ludicrous scrap going on at the moment. So don't get your eye off that if you are synced up with us. Alex is in the mix as well. Oh my word. That was so close to contact, and one of the cars now slowing. And I think they're trying to get it back into pit lane. They were very close to clipping that tyre. It's the number 18 of Flynn Jacques. What a shame for them. As we go very nearly wheel to wheel. The number 5 of Fu just ahead. And they're being able to keep a position. Goodness me, this championship already beginning to just completely remove any vocal skills I have. You know, being solo for this type of series, never ideal with the amount of entertainment you can get. Bedrin, by the way, is closing in on Martin Molnar. He is chasing him down. I've never seen anyone pull such a big advantage in the opening laps of a GB3 race before, and that is unbelievable. That is absolutely fantastic. What a brilliant getaway to racing action this has been. Molnar, Bedrin, Rem, Fairclough and Campbell Pilling, your top 5. But does Nikita Bedrin have an attack? Does he have a chance to try and go for the win? To try and go for the lead first of all? And can he have a bit of a late charge as he tries to come back and fight back? I mean, he's getting very close to DRS territory in general. He is really pushing. I don't know whether Martin Molnar's decided to go into conserve mode or something, but he is really, really getting onto the back of Molnar. Wait for the gap across the line this time. It's going to be really interesting to see between first and second here. What is the distance? Because I am convinced there won't be that much, if there is anything. Because we're going to send it over the line now. 1.5, was the last gap that was recorded. Half a second is the next time. 1 second gained across 1 lap of Silverstone. And Nikita Bedrin, welcome to DRS territory. A 1 minute 50.422. I can tell you that lap time easily without even looking at my live timings because it's popped up on screen because it's the fastest lap of this race so far. Here we go. Is this the moment for Nikita Bedrin to take the race lead away from Martin Molnar? Molnar got the incredible getaway. Bedrin's had to fight his way back up. Does he have the opportunity? Can he try and make the move into Stowe Corner? No, he can't. But he is going to be forcing Martin Molnar to the defensive lines. And now he's got an opportunity heading into Vale. This is for the lead. And Nikita Bedrin sells the dummy late on the brakes. And that is the lead here at Silverstone. What a late send it was. And immediately we are getting our contenders. Well, we're immediately getting names added for who is going to get overtake of the year. And that is a submission right there. Fair play. Nikita Bedrin, who takes the lead at Silverstone. It did not take long, did it? It really did not take long for Bedrin to close in and to say goodbye, really. It was a bit of a look into Stowe. He didn't decide to go for anything wild. Why would you when you have such pace? Okay, now let's focus on Deegan Fairclough versus Maxim Rem. This is the battle for third position, and Fairclough getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Can he make a move? Looking for it. We thought it could be coming. That is going to be close to contact, and they will just avoid it. They will just avoid it, making their way through Brooklands. And now we will enter another lap of racing here. And this has been... I really do not have words. I'm quite speechless. Nikita Bedrin, what a move. What an overtake. That is outrageous. You would think it's the last lap of the race and we are basically on the F1 layout where they have the... Well, we are on the F1 layout, but when they have the start-finish line on the Hamilton straight, you'd think it's the last lap and we have the checkered flag just a few meters away. And he's absolutely sent it. That's unbelievable. Nikita Bedrin. Myself and Wes are talking about... Wes was asking me a question. Do you think maybe Bedrin might dominate this year? Could he be the Alex Ninovich driver? I mean, I was like, well, it's a very competitive grid. I think someone's surely going to contend with him. I've got no clue at the moment. I mentioned how they were all battling for second in such a wild way. It gave an extraordinary gap. It gave an extraordinary gap to Molnar. I've never seen someone be able to pull away such a big margin and not get challenged in such a way on an opening lap. But that happened. That was the case. And somehow, 3 seconds has been closed in about what? Let's say 8 minutes? And he's just taken the lead, made the easiest pass, like it wasn't even a contest, with a late son of a dummy last second move. And now he's got a 1.1 second advantage, and that's only on this lap. So... we're about to come over the line for another lap, so I can give you a better gap distance, but that gap might be about to come down, because off the road we go with Krill Kutskov, I think, in the number 17, and he's going to get it back going. That's critical. We're not going to get to the safety car. Elite Motorsport not having a great time of things, are they? Not having a great time at all. So they're all having a little bit of trouble. Over the line we go once again. And it is Abby Pulling who is chasing down Lee for 7th. So could that be an overtake that we have to keep our eye on? Meanwhile, into Cobb's corner. Brilliant battling. Brilliant overtaking. And that was one of the hill speed cars roaring their way by. And that is going to be the hill speed of Dante Vinci. Great to have him, as I mentioned, in this championship. And immediately trying his best to make an overtake. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you the gap between Bedrin and Molnar, wasn't I? 2 seconds now. Completely forgot until I looked up and was like, oh, it's 2 seconds now. I mean, usually as a commentator, you're having to heavily rely on the live timing information. In this race, I feel like they're all handing it to me on a plate. Because the interesting and the elements that we need to be talking about in this specific moment are all in front of me. But no, great to have the GB3 Championship as part of the support bill here for the British GT weekend, which is what we're in supporting. Please make sure, of course, while we won't be covering it, please make sure you watch the GB4 race later on. Our very own Caitlin McDaniel, who did some F1 Academy commentaries with us last year, and also an FP1 in Mexico, will be racing. So please make sure you do go on and support her in what is a very large grid for GB4. GB4 has been able to attract lots of drivers to that series. So make sure you do go and give that one a watch. And basically, to be fair, the way it works is, in terms of, I'll tell you what you need to do today, in terms of your motorsport schedule. So you're watching this right now with us. Go over, join us in FREC. Once FREC finishes, you'll maybe have to wait 10 minutes. Then GB4 will happen. And then after that, there'll be a bit of NASCAR on for you here on the main channel. And you know, that's your motorsport. That's your motorsport done. In terms of for today. But today, it's nice and sorted. I have to say, Max and Rem's closing in on Martin Molnar. So, I have a feeling that, I mean, it was a great start for Molnar. I mean, I would usually at this point now say, if someone was able to get such a big gap at the start, that they absolutely utilised all their tyres at the start. I don't know how much of that, though, could be the case, because the thing is with Martin Molnar, he got given a lot of that gap because he basically, everyone else was scrapping. So he got given that such major, lengthy advantage, and now he's just, you know, falling into the clutches here of the driver of Max and Rem. I'm really trying my best not to see Alex Ninovich, but seeing him in the car one last year, fighting his way through, definitely is indicating, because, I mean, it was Rodin on top last year. Nikita Bedrin trying to put his number 20 car on the top step of the podium, slowing down. Slowing down, one of the hill speed cars is coming to a halt. And who is that? Down Hamilton Straight. Looks like we have a car stopping. It's the number 10 according to my driver tracker. That is Dante Vinci. What a shame. We were praising him, but that is a disappointing moment for him, and not the moment that he would have wanted at all. What a shame for Vinci, and surely it might mean that we require a safety car. Safety car is out. The safety car is deployed, and the complexity of this race is about to be changed. The first safety car of this season has been deployed. They'll need to recover that car, and we are going to head behind the safety car for our first interruption of the year in race number 1. What a dramatic start to proceedings it's been here for the GB3 Championship. A good and interesting first race that we've been treated to so far. Good bit of racing, good bit of battling, good bit of side-by-side. What else would you want? But no, we're going to go behind the safety car now. But as you could see, the static dot, the number 10, stationary. And that part of the circuit. And that's the car that came to a halt. What a disappointment as well for Abby Pulling. We mentioned, could there possibly have been an issue? And she's in the pit lane as well. What is going on for so many drivers? So many things going wrong today. And we saw Abby Pulling slowing down, didn't we? Down Wellington Straight, which kind of was the thing that raised my suspicions, wasn't it? In terms of, is anything wrong? Has something gone wrong? But at the moment, it just appears like that, in fact, there's nothing actually specifically, well, it's nothing that can be caught by the eye, and it's definitely something internal. So not something like a puncture or anything, or a slow puncture or a mistake, which was my other guess, but no, it's definitely something that the team might need to work on ahead of tomorrow, but that's a ruiner for Abby Pulling, who was talking to Piers Pryor earlier on, and was mentioning about the fact of how she's going to be hoping for the championship this year, which year 2 of GB3 for her. Great to have her back. And yeah, that will absolutely be the goal for her, to be the champion of 2026. But right now, the grid is very competitive in terms of having a driver like Nikita Bedrin here. So it's going to be a tough challenge, I think. Ferrari pulling, I think it's fair to say. So, especially now, having round runner being put on the back foot is not what you want, but you have to imagine in this type of championship, with all of the aggressive driving that we've seen already so far, you can basically imagine that 100% definitely we are going to be having a situation where it's not going to be handed to anyone on a plate. Safety car's coming in at the end of this lap. Basically, they caught the safety car and it was already all clear. So we're going to get ready to go racing. Of course, that's the luxury of it being happening on the Formula 1 pit straight, the Hamilton straight. And of course, for Formula 2 and Formula 3, it's a bit more familiar, that location. They kind of have to open it up and the marshals have to push a car in when they stall on the grid. For us, it's been utilised, I guess, in a bit of a different way, but for a car that was stationary. So going to be an interesting dynamic as we go racing once again. We're not going to have long left. Another thing for this year that's new. We had a choice of laps or time. Of course, time is the deciding factor. The maximum we can go racing is 25 minutes. However, if we got to laps first, it would be laps. So that was the main thing. And in this championship, more often than not, you would reach time. So we've just decided, let's just maximize. Let's just have 25 minutes. Forget about laps at all. Let's just have 25 minutes of racing. That's what we've basically got them for this year. We're just going to go racing for 25 minutes, maximize racing, and I think that's the great thing. That, in my opinion, is the great thing as well. By the way, as I've already mentioned, we are going to be late to the Formula Regional European Championship by just a little bit. Their formation lap is set to start at 40 past. We will be on air to it about when the formation lap's beginning. We've not got a long introduction, but basically it will be, I wrap up here. As soon as the checkered flag falls, we go. And I immediately then get set and get ready to go. But World Feed technically starts in 2 minutes. We've got about 3 minutes and 30. But of course, for the season opener, we were able to cover a lot of things in detail. I won't be able to cover as much. It'll just be straight in, get through the basics, and commentate the race ahead of us. That's going to be the incredible thing of it. I don't think we're delayed on that schedule. We might be like a few minutes behind, possibly. But if we're a few minutes, that's perfect. But, the most important thing that nothing on this British GT schedule was delayed, so that's why we're okay. To some degree. Okay, right. That's enough waffling. We're about to go racing once again here at Silverstone Circuit. Nikita Bedrin brought everyone to a crawl. Now gets his foot flat to the floor and is going to look to try and take us back to green flag racing condition, with himself having a great advantage over the rest of the field. That description is going to be true because it looks good, it looks decent, but I have to say Molnar in the second phase, as they were exiting through the final corner, may have just been able to get himself a bit of an opportunity because he's got the slipstream, but Bedrin's going to hang on to it. And now the next few couple of corners is going to be very interesting. The gap was 2/10 over the line. And now Molnar giving chase to Bedrin. Can he stay close? Can he provide a late challenge? And then it's Rem, Fairclough, third and fourth. They're going to definitely go into combat very, very shortly as well. Sliding is Maxim Rem. And Deegan Fairclough, of course, entering year 2 of the GB3 Championship, is going to now look to try and make the move as Nikita Bedrin breaks the toe, defends, and there's no movement happening nearer to the front of the field. Further back we look, further back we get overtaking. Number 5 of Fu down the inside, and Fu is getting past the number 22 there, and that is going to be Rodrigo Gonzalez. Gonzalez will try fight back. Meanwhile, Jin Nakamura in the other high-tech is trying to make a move. At the same time, Fu finalises the overtake and makes sure that he's got the place ahead of Rodrigo Gonzalez. That is for 11th, I think, that they are scrapping over 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. So when we come over the line, we will basically begin what will be the final lap, pretty much, is what's going to happen. We will enter the final lap because, of course, these drivers, a lap is long here at Silverstone. So we will basically be entering the final lap, sliding, skating our way by as they try and get on the power. And that's a move from Deegan Fairclough being attempted. Fairclough looking for it on Maxim Rem. as they run side by side. They run wheel to wheel. And now we look to try and get on the power and see what everyone's got. So this is the final lap of the opening race of the GB3 Championship partnered by the BRDC. DRS is enabled. Can anyone utilise it to make a late move, to make a late pass in this one? Bedrin looks to be home. 1.2 seconds is his gap. Oh my word, Deegan Fairclough nearly losing the car, but it didn't cost him too much time. And he is still on the back of Maxim Vrem with a realistic opportunity to make this move. Issue he's got is Maxim Vrem has DRS of Martin Molnar, so it can't be an easy DRS pass and an easy DRS move, so that moment might cost him in the end. It might just cost him overall, and that'll be a shame for Deegan Fairclough. It looked like at so many points he could have had third today. But he had to make the move quick after that safety car restart. Not a lot of time for the drivers to play with. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to do it. Side by side we go, further back. Getting very close together. Inside line into the final corner. And that is going to be the number 24 of Jack Taylor, who was very nearly having a through goes moment at that moment. As they made their way out of the final corner, somehow we avoided contact as they raced their way by. And now Rowan Campbell-Pilling is possibly under pressure and losing out. That's a late lunge from Aurelia Noble's coming in. And she's now flicking it up the inside. The number 5 is going to be in the mix of Fu. Fu is still there. Oh, that's late as well from the other Hill Speed car. They're all battling at the end. It's absolutely glorious GB3 racing. But we're very nearly home and seeing the final few drivers over the line as they battle in a chaotic way further back. Out of the final corner, Nikita Bedrin will convert pole position to the opening win of GB3 in 2026. Bedrin wins at Silverstone Circuit. It's close over the line between Molnar and Ren, but the Rodin Motorsport pair give them a double podium. Deegan Fairclough is going to be fourth, and then it'll be Rowan Campbell-Pilling in fifth. Who's going to get it between the Hill Speed drivers over the line? And it was very close, but we're going to find ourselves with Gonzalez in 11th, Flusha in 12th position, and that was incredible. GB3 racing with Nikita Bedrin taking the win. Nikita Bedrin's done it, and what a great performance it is by him. Okay, well, I know this isn't the best sight, but it has been great for you to join us here for the GB3 season opener. We've got to run because we've got the FIA Formula Regional European Championship to try and call, and we look forward to having your company then. But for GB3, 2 races coming up tomorrow. For now, congratulations, Nikita Bedrin.